Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It is your favorite dark sorcerer here, and today I'd like to discuss the preparation for 2020 Samhain tomorrow night. So, over the last couple of weeks, I've really been delving into research, study, practice, been spending a lot of time in my sanctuary, my inner sanctuary, performing rituals, rites, doing a lot of reading, and really delving deep into silence. There's an old expression which states, if you can't spend but a few minutes in silence or isolation, how do you expect to be a dark sorcerer, a black magician, a witch, or a warlock? You see, this path is really not for the faint of heart because it takes up a lot of your time. It really takes up a lot of emotional, physical, and mental currents, energies. You're attacked from all around. Public's going to hate you because of what you practice. People are going to look at you differently when you come upon this practice. Samhain, the Devil's Night, goes back hundreds of years, centuries to be precise. Beelzebub was known to copulate with witches during the Sabbats, the witches' festivals. This is demonolatry, by the way. However, when you're dealing with witchcraft or sorcery, the image of the devil has played a massive psychological role within the public's eye. It has rampaged the world with a fury over the last 1,000 years through the witch trials, the crusades, the holy wars, the burning times, the satanic panic. And yet people just roll with it. So this year I wanted to do something different. I've been thinking about the last 30 years of my journey into sorcery, from vampiric practices to dark shamanism or black shamanism, druidism, getting into voodoo, Satanism on a wide scale. Okay, I'm talking theistic and spiritual Satanism, not just traditional Satanism. Okay, getting into Santeria, Pero Mayambi, Quimbanda, even, and then getting sidetracked by that, getting into Santa Morte and going right back into witchcraft full time. And then I became a minister and started teaching, okay, while I was trying to study and practice. Now, 10 years is a long time to teach everything that you've learned, to share your experiences and the sources with the public. So I had a lot to think about. I had a lot to contemplate on. Hey, Alkalone. So, with every aspect of things that I do in a run of a day time frame, I thought I would give a few pointers and kind of discuss what I got planned for tomorrow. Okay, just a little bit because I had a couple of things that I was contemplating on, and one of the things that I like to do is cartomancy. Okay, cartomancy is now known as tarot card reading. Cartomancy goes back all the way to the 11th century, not the 16th century as occultists believe, to White, Levy, and John and Edward, you know, and so forth, all the way up into modern day society. But cartomancy has been around a very, very long time. And with my current studies within necromancy and the rites that I'm preparing to do and put underway, starting tonight, by the way, one of the things that helps you, especially going through those proverbial minefields, is doing several readings with a deck of tarot cards, okay? Cartomancy. And kind of get a grasp of silence, a grasp of solitude. Because it will help you to quiet your mind. It'll help you to get away from the distractions. And it will help you to focus your attention or intentions upon your individual practices. Okay? If you're doing an invocation, or let's say, for an example, for you Satanists out there, those of you who are either solitary or in a coven based setting, it's okay if you're associated with certain organizations like the Order of the Nine Angles, traditional Satanism, by the way, the Cathedral of the Black Goat, which is also traditional Satanism, the Joy of Satan, which is kind of well known right now. A lot of people really don't like it because of they associate them with neo-Nazism, which is literally untrue, by the way. Do your own homework if you don't believe me. Yes, they have traced everything back, including the swastika, which has a very fruitful symbolatry and rituals, and have gone by many names going back hundreds of thousands of years. It is nothing new, okay? It's only due to the last 75 years, if not 80 years, that it's been associated with neo-Nazism. So do your homework, all right? And then you have the COS, the Church of Satan, which is an atheistic organization. Now, personally, I do not condone atheism because I find it to be hypocritical in duality and dualistic. Okay? Namely, because why are you going to call upon the forces of darkness, the forces of demonic manifestation through black magic when you've already made up your mind that nothing else exists outside of you? Okay? Now, I'm not judging. Okay? I'm really not judging. I'm just stating a fact here. Okay? So that is the dualistic nature of the COS. Okay? And then you have the Satanic Temple, which is a bunch of freaking idiots, anyways. They're trying to play the bad guy, furthering the Anton Zandalove image of the COS. and they've gotten into political aspects, and they've quite frankly spoken that if you're not of them, you're not one of their members, they're not going to fucking help you. So don't waste your time with them, okay? But if you're already a part of them, that's on you. It's all good. Like I said, I'm not going to judge. I don't really give a damn to. It's energy I care not to give you or them. So, anyways, Samhain has a rich history. He's not only known as a demonic king going all the way back to the 16th century, a destroyer, okay? But Samhain is also one of the witches' Sabbats, going back hundreds of thousands of years, all the way into European countries, Scandinavian, Gaelic, and all the way into Norse mythologies, not just European traditions. But this stuff goes worldwide, every single tradition. All right. So this is normally a time to perform for Satanists. It is a great time to realign yourself with the forces of darkness, with the underworld, with the forces of hell, to reestablish your link with Satan, Lucifer, Beelzebub, Ashtaroth, Lucifer's Raphael, and all the demerge that they rule over. Okay? And witchcraft in general, black, dark magic, sorcery, you name it, is also a great time to think about the next year, your practice, your currents. And you can also do what is known as a blood pact, a pact of alignment, not only with the spirits that you already serve, but with a current that you want to get into. All right. So this is just something that you can think about. And when you place yourself in a solitary confinement area, like say you're home alone for a day or two, okay, or maybe 3 days, okay, you go into your inner sanctum, you meditate, you perform the void meditation, you get into aspects of ritualized summonings, invocations, evocations. You know, you can restate and reaffirm your initial pact, or you can rewrite your pact and resubmit it. Okay, as long as it's in the agreement between the two parties. Like, say, if you're making a pact to Asmodee, Asmodai, Asmodeus, depending on the century and the text that he was written about. Okay, then he's an entity. He's one of the 9 great kings of the Goetia. He's a demon of wrath, and he's a demon of desire. And he goes all the way back to the Book of Tobit, which is a Jewish text. Okay, just like the Talmud, the Scroll of Amran, which is Sanskrit. Okay, um, the Jewish Haggadah, Jewish demonology, you name it, it's right there. Just like the Quran, the Jewish Bible, or the Catholics, same exact thing. It goes back centuries. Okay, but it's these things are surrounded by Middle Eastern belief structures. Now, for those of you who are, say, for example, necromancers, shamans, getting reattuned to the currency. Okay, necromancy has been closely associated with shamanism, not just one way, but both ways. Okay, and this goes all the way back over 1,000 years. I've traced necromantic practices were going back all the way to the 6th century BC. Okay, this is the last of the Roman Emperor, the last of the Roman Emperor. Okay, and going into Slavic and Norse, Scandinavian, Gaelic traditions. Okay, not just going down into Greek and Latin or Roman, but also into the first and second dynasty of Egypt. Okay. And then you come over here to the Americas and you see the difference from their practices in the old world, and you see it from South America on up into Canada. Okay. And you get into these traditions of herbalism and aligning yourself with nature through either the chaotic effect of, say, destruction magics or poisons, venoms, brews, and stuff like that, and you align yourself with nature in general. Well, guess what? Right there in shamanism, you're realigning yourself during Samhain. You are realigning yourself and confirming your stature as a mage, a sage, okay, a hexa, a shin, witch, warlock, practitioner of the arts. Okay. And necromancy, a great place for you to think about is, who are you working with? What types of spirits have you been aligning yourself with? If you go to graveyards, one of the things that you can do is to light a candle, call on the spirits of the graveyard, and really establish your link with them. Reaffirm to them in the spiritual nexus that you are a practitioner of necromancy, no matter what level that you are. If you are a beginner, if you are an adept, a devotee, or perhaps a lich or a necromancer in general, you can simply be a necromancer in training. Okay. And you can do something like this. Just go into a cemetery, light a couple candles. Just remember, don't destroy anything, don't harm anything. Just light a couple candles. Go in, um, say a few prayers, realign yourself, do an invocation or an evocation of spirits. There's been a number of different viewpoints of this, by the way. Uh, Dante Abiel stated that you have your tool of power that was given to him by the Lord or King of the underworld. Popular pop culture shows the mark that is given. Okay, look at the TV show Legacies. Okay, you can see where that goes, where you're disfiguring yourself. Okay, you're not digging up corpses or doing all that shit. You know, you're not doing the Faustian deal. You're just simply reaffirming yourself through candles. Some like to place a candle on a tombstone. Others that I've discovered like, and they really go into and set up a coliseum, and they set up this wide, elaborate photo, type of setting with skulls, with candles, with their cauldron, and they do pacts, they do alignments, and they do some form of ritual to empower their sorcery. Okay. So there are a lot of techniques that do work. There's a lot of techniques that go back to the 6th century. Okay, I'm talking 650 AD. Okay. So, I mean, depending on where you are in the world, look at your practice. Look at your needs, your desires. Okay. What is it that you, as a solitary practitioner, or you, as a coven member, really discern to do? What is it that you hope to gain from these sorceries, from these magics? And over the next year, what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to give up? And how are you willing to increase the potency of your magic? Okay. Like I said, you're going to be hated. You're going to be feared. You're going to have people look down on you like snobs. But it's not about them. It's about you. So therefore, My recommendation is to look at what you're going for. What is it that you seek to do and employ within your life? Are you looking to get a better job? Are you looking to um, get that apartment or that home that will benefit your family? Okay. Are you trying to become more spiritual in nature? Okay. This is what I'm talking about right here. Look at what you need as an individual. If you're doing this for a coven setting, a coven, ritual, look at the coven's needs. Are you looking to bring more members into your coven? Are you looking to be more fruitful within your alignments with the spirits? Perhaps you're trying to get acquainted with your community. Either way, Samhain is a very good time of year for reestablishing. It is a great time to perform certain rites and rituals that will benefit you, even if it is considered to be devil worship. Okay? Black magic, sorcery, dark or black shamanism, whatever suits your fancy. Okay? I can tell you that through my own personal practices, I have begun taking my necromantic practices more and more seriously. I've been delving into everything related to death, relating to necromancy. Okay. I'm talking delving into stones. I'm talking about gems. I'm talking about actual practices through mythology and history of worldwide. And the more I delve into it, the more I am enjoying it, the more I really like it. Okay. And like I said, it starts with enlightenment and isolation. Okay. Isolation will open up a whole lot of possibilities for you. But the thing is, if you cannot stand an hour sitting in pitch black, okay, let's say, for example, you want to do the void meditation. I've come across a couple of different techniques, one of which is to utilize some form of music like a demonic N, a mantra, even. There's quite a few of those on YouTube. You can plug in and just sit there, listen, meditate, put yourself into that deep, deep meditative state and go beyond that veil, beyond what you know. Open yourself up to the spirits and help them help you. Call on them, invite them in. And from there, you can go into other areas, such as, say, sitting in complete darkness, staring straight ahead and seeing the images come to you. These are different techniques that you can utilize if you want to go beyond the adversities and the subdivisions that plague our communities today. Okay? These are ways for you as the practitioner to go beyond, to evolve. And working with the spirits will help you do that. But Samhain is the best time to do it. Like I said, I've got a few things of my own that I'm working on and planning to put forth tomorrow night. Not just tomorrow night, but tonight alone as well. So I'm looking at a good 24 to 48 hours worth of rituals, study, practice, isolation, and such. Okay? So with that said, look into your own practices, look into what you're planning on doing, and really gain that enlightenment. Start out with isolation. Okay? Look at the tools that you like to use. It could be runes, it could be cartomancy, it could be some form of phylactery, even like say a black scrying mirror, divination bowl, perhaps. You're utilizing pyromancy, like a candle, and look at the coloring of the candle and what it represents, and so forth. Only you can decide what you're willing to do, where you're willing to go, how you're willing to do it, and to really get into the areas of power as well. Okay? Forests are renowned for replenishing natural currents. Look at abandoned churches where they are associated with worship of deities and spirits already. There's already that spiritual um, current there, so that you can tap into it much more easier. Look into graveyards. Same exact thing. Find something, a section of a graveyard that really speaks to you. It could be a tomb, it could be a coliseum, it could be, just a fork in the road, so to speak, and just sit there, set up some candles, meditate. And what you take in is what you take with you. Okay? But still, it comes down to you as the individual. Look into what you're doing and apply it. All right? Have a good day. And until next time.